Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Hello, I'm Anna Jackson, and this is your Golf Central update. Well, the top two players in the FedEx Cup standings will be teeing off together in the last group on Thursday. Number 1, Scotty Scheffler, and number 2, Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay fresh off a win at the BMW Championship, and Rex Hoggard talked with him about his season earlier today.
Hard to measure, it's been a whole year between now and then, but I would say, pretty similar. I feel like my game's been solid pretty much all year. I haven't won as many times as last year, but I've been right there just as many times, and so I feel good coming to a golf course that I like.
JT kind of famously thumbs his goals in at the beginning of the year into his phone. Are you a goals person? And I wouldn't expect you to share them, but can you just kind of give me a general idea of what they might be?
I'm really... saying that I'm not sounds weird, but I'm really not. I'm more focused on the process, and then the results will take care of themselves type of person. I think, if you set realistic goals, which I think is, better than setting totally unrealistic goals, and then you achieve them, what then? So I'm more focused on the day-to-day process, and then let the chips fall where they may, opposed to setting particular goals.
When you won here last year, you'd had so much success on the PGA Tour, but given the statute of this event, did it land differently with you?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, it's a golf course that I hadn't played historically well on, and so coming into that tournament with a lead and playing kind of with a lead for 72 holes was a different challenge. So not necessarily the stature of the event, but the fact that all the spotlight was on me because of the week before, and then playing 72 holes with a lead, which never happens in our sport, and then being able to carry the lead the whole way through. I definitely took something from that.
Now, we've done this for a couple of years now. You talk about the stroke space scoring, how you start the week. Do you have to make any kind of adjustments at all, or is it just pretty much the same game plan, just starting from a different position?
I think it's the same game plan from a different position. It's still a 72-hole tournament, and your chances are still going to be the best if you can lay down the best 4-day stroke total. And, the only difference is if you start at the top, you should have a better chance the back 9 come Sunday.
How would you grade your season?
I think it's been solid. Like I said a little earlier, I would have liked to have won more. And, I think that maybe always is the case with golf. You can get close and feel like you should be able to win more than you actually are able to. And so, I thought it was a solid year. I played really consistently well all year and knocked off a few wins. So I think it was a good year.
Well, looking at one of the other interesting tee times for Thursday, likely Rookie of the Year Cameron Young goes off with US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick. Both players will start at 3 under par and 7 shots back. And Fitzpatrick joining the chorus of players who aren't that happy with the staggered start.
No, never played anything like it. I mean, I don't know who's on 1 shot ahead of me. I don't know who it is. But I feel like the guy that finished 6th and I finished 15th, I think that's right. I'm right in thinking that he's only 1 shot ahead of me. I think is probably a little bit unfair, I guess. I feel like he probably should be more. I don't know. I said last week the same thing. I just think that the points in these last 3, it's just a little bit too much. I gave the example of Colin Morikawa last year, going into the playoffs 2nd or whatever he was, had a phenomenal season. And I actually spoke to him about it last week, and he defended it. He defended it, which I was surprised about. He's got more class than me, I guess. But I'd be fuming if I was him. And I just think it's hard to sort of do these extra points in our game. I did have a thought that somehow the playoffs could be match play somehow, where it's a bit more realistic to like every other sports playoffs if that's the way the tour want to go. But yeah, I just think the heavy points for these last 3 is a little strange.
And finally, Zander Schoflet is going in the penultimate group on Thursday. He was supposed to be playing with Will Zalatoris. However, Zalatoris is out with a back injury, so he'll be playing alongside Sam Burns instead. Schoflet weighed in on Zalatoris' withdrawal and his season as a whole.
unfortunately, I saw the news of Will not being able to play this week, and after a season that he had to finish sort of just to go to last place, I think it's a bit harsh. I think it could be sorted out a little bit better. That'd be an example. I've obviously been on sort of both sides of that fence too, from a competition standpoint, and I understand why it's the way it is, but I think it's the overall consensus from just talking to players would be that maybe a sit down needs to happen to sort of reshape it or try to make it better, or at least come up with options and then show it to us, or just give it a whirl.
What would you consider your most important shot of the season?
Hopefully I can answer that on Sunday. Up to this point, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, there's pivotal points in every tournament. We're all very competitive. I've made a putt to make the cut on the number, and I've made a putt to not to win a tournament, but I guess to make the finishing hole easier for myself in winning an event. So I mean, it'd be hard to rate.
Go to Steve right here.
Yeah, Xander, there's some pretty good friendships up there on the leaderboard. I'm just wondering, are you fully willing to step on your buddy Cantlay's neck for $18 million?
Yeah, it's whenever we play tournaments, it's always a competition thing. We obviously enjoy hanging out. Most of the guys out here honestly enjoy hanging out, and as soon as we step on the green grass, even in a friendly game, I think everyone's trying to beat each other.
Well, knowing how well he's playing, how tough is he going to be for you to run down even?
There's a lot of guys that are playing really well. I'd say anyone that made it into this tournament and in this format, it's kind of a bit of a free-for-all, especially, if anyone at even par, you shoot 6 or 7 under that first day, you'd imagine you put yourself right in the tournament. So I'd say it's there for the taking.
Alan?
It's been a tumultuous season for professional golf. How important is this week as a showcase for the tour? You've got all the stars here. You're on the place with a lot of history. Do you feel like it's important that it's a great tournament and you kind of display the product a little bit?
Yeah, I'd say it's a nice finishing touch for our year to come to Eastlake. It's like you said, a ton of history on property here. A ton of history made, I guess, for our tour as well, with sort of the finishing stretches and ups and downs and how people have played. So I mean, I'd say yes, this is a very nice touch to our season.
In here, we talk a lot about all the macro developments between the different tours and the players and all that. But is there a lot of chatter this week about that? Or are you guys just totally focused on the tournament?
I'd say there's enough reason to be selfish as an individual out here on tour. Not much talk about anything, to be completely honest. Just everyone just trying to beat each other for the big prize.